Good afternoon, Nigeria. My name is Dayo Omoogun, and together we are on the Polity, coming to you live from the Abuja studios of KAFTAN Television. And this afternoon we will be talking about the PDP crisis, and we look at what exactly is wrong and what exactly can be done so the party can come out of this crisis, because whether we like it, whether we accept it or not, PDP has become a major stakeholder in the Nigerian political space, and it's important that they get their bearings right so that we can have an active opposition, a virile opposition. For now, since they are in opposition, they should be leading the charge, and unfortunately that's not what we're getting. And so if PDP is not there, of course opposition is in disarray, and we can't continue to have this. So with me in the studio this afternoon is Chief Segun Sowunmi, who is the former spokesperson to Vice President, that is former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. And right now, incidentally, Chief Segun Sowunmi is also aspiring to become the national chairman of the PDP. And you're welcome, Chief.
It's nice to be here. How are you?
Very fine, and you?
Thanks, I'm fine.
And thanks for the last time. Now, we will be starting this way, Chief. Mm-hmm. Since the crisis got worse last week, you've become the go-to person for everybody who wants to find out what's happening in the party. I'm wondering, is there something to it? Is that, from your own reading, is that some push? Is that some for your aspiration? Do you think, how do you read?
Well, thank you very much. I have also observed that. I've had back-to-back interviews. Some I had to turn down because it's been one after the other, and one is even asking that, is there an overexposure? Mm-hmm. But I feel that the people come because, one, they know they will have as honest a conversation as possible. They know that for content purposes it will be stylized, and it will have energy, and the interview will be enjoyed. And also they know that I've always been someone who stands for the party and who has defended it, taking the battle to the rivals of the party for years. So I feel that they have a feeling that if there be anybody they can get the true state of things
from,
it will be me, against them say for and against. And I have tried as much as possible to be as balanced as possible, as honest as possible, without necessarily tilting too much onto anybody's side or joining people to tell lies or create all sorts of innuendos. I thought overnight and I asked myself, Segun, why? But you know, my reason in the beginning is still my reason now. Democracy requires a culture that must meet up with democratic behavior. And for an African country that we are, most populous black nation, I feel that the PDP that I represent is the microcosm of who we are. There are too many issues that we need to change, even among our own habits, our behaviors and all that. And so when you create an organization that is democratic, and people have the right to their opinions, their views, their anger, their schemings, their plannings and all that, it gives you a bigger challenge when you don't have the instrument to force them or the instrument to, you know, monetize them and get them to behave. It's like that for PDP now. It wasn't always like that when we were in government. When we were in government, take the case of the Obasanjo years. If the presidency and the powers that be became convinced on the course of action, they could persuade you or they could force you using the instrument of state.
Or they could push you out.
That's the mean by force, by using the instrument of state. And I think the same privileges exist for the ruling party. And that's why you see that they can wake up in the morning, change their chairman, nobody will talk, change their secretary, nobody will talk, not call a board meeting, not do anything that look like stakeholder meeting, not run any grassroots ownership of the structure. You know, but it's a privilege of being in charge. So it's not like all their members are happy.
Yeah,
but they are just containing themselves.
Yeah.
Because one, they might have the expectation of patronage from the president, or they can be whipped into line.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a governor just totally not behaving himself around the president? That's quite risky. EFCC could bang on your door the next day, and they could hand you about like they're doing.
Every cupboard here has some cockroaches. So
the Nigerian governmental structure and the Nigerian governmental space does not give you enough opportunity to be too stubborn.
Yeah, you can always be.
They will always throw you your charge sheet.
Yes.
They throw the books at you,
and you sit up,
and they can destabilize you.
Yeah, sure, that's true.
So when you're in a position, you don't have that kind of.
Today alone, give us a feel of what your itinerary has been.
Wow, I woke up at 8. I'd done an interview at 8:30 with News Central. I'd done a radio interview at 10. I'd done TVC at 11 to 12. I rushed home to get breakfast, and I've rushed to you. And I still have 2 more interviews.
Today?
Yes, and I dodged Silverbird because it clashed with Nigerian Economic Summit Group in the morning. So if I hadn't dodged Silverbird, I would have ended up with about 6 interviews, all of them grading interviews today. But I know that the media has a right to demand answers.
Yeah, sure.
And I know that we have a duty to answer. And I think I'm training myself
also
as a leader to be willing to be called upon to come and explain. Well, I think that generally what we have in the country is that our leaders are too much on holiday. Spokespersons speak for them. Writers write for them. People think for them, and when you put them in front of the light, they just kind of like embarrass everybody. They crumble because they are not allowed themselves to the rigors of training.
Gone through, yeah.
So I have done that. So thank you for inviting me, and I couldn't have refused you anyway because of the relationship that exists. Ordinarily, I would have said I'm tired.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. Now, quickly, when you saw the suspensions and counter suspensions of last week, how did you feel as a top member of PDP?
When I heard of the suspension, the first thing I did was to call all the parties involved. I couldn't get Dayo and all that because he was not around. Every other person I called workers like, what the hell is going on here? What happened? And to the credit of our leaders who are at the end of this, they offered some robust explanation as to how they got to that point. And the processes that led to that suspension and all that. Can I be happy if my brother Dayo is suspended? I can never be happy. Dayo is my brother. He's my brother on a level that is not just the party. I did not meet Dayo as party. I met Dayo as my friend. We have a group of friends. There were 4 of us. One is late. There's Talks Modupe of TPT. There's Dayo, there's me, and there's Ita Ojegede. That's how we know ourselves. So
Ita Ojegede, the candidate.
So it has nothing to do with the national policy section of the party. But when they explained all that they had, I knew that, okay, there will be remedies for him because they set up a committee to review. But what I take objection to was the fact that he then thought the next thing that he had to do was make a pronouncement to say he has suspended other people. I don't think the constitution allows that kind of play, and I think that the media should stop saying there are counter suspensions.
All right.
It is ridiculous and disgusting. It's like saying you go to a bank board meeting and you are told to step aside because they're investigating you, and then the next thing you do, go to the media and tell them that you have also suspended. That's a bit childish. It's a bit childish, but you know, the media in Nigeria will run with it. It doesn't matter even if they get all the evidence to suggest that this is just red herring.
No, they will not. They have to report it first.
They will report it, and then
you can come back.
And then reporter will take on the life of his own, and then we'll be struggling as well with all the social media, trained media, internet, and all those who desire an outcome that I could also have said I desire, but who are not looking at what is before us or just assuming what is in their brain to be the reality. That's who they are. I am who I am.
But that's why we're getting clarity.
Yeah, I know. But really, the truth of the matter is that there's only one active suspension on the table.
Right. So as far as you're concerned, only the Omoogun suspension. I mean, that is the suspension of Dayo.
Yes, because that happened within the confines of an NWC meeting.
Okay.
And it is within the privileges granted them by the Constitution. They can do that, and they also showed enough to let us see that they set up a committee to invest. They didn't really suspend, they told them to step aside. They set up a committee made up or led by the Vice Chairman South, Ambassador Arakpaja, and a few others to go and look at the issues.
All right.
So that's the best they could do if they feel so way. And that one that you now say, okay, you suspended the chairman, you suspended the secretary, and then you come on.
All right.
You can't. The democracy cannot be that irresponsible.
All right. Now, would you say that? Would you want to let us into some of the issues?
Which, or you mean that led to the suspension? Ideally, I would have expected the man that is now parading as the acting public secretary to come and answer those queries. For me, I'm more interested in the corporate brand and the perception
of the party.
Yeah. And it is the perception of the party that puts me to work, lest it becomes a single narrative that goes down through the whole of the, archives, and then you say, okay, that's what it is, and then you are going to be struggling to get people to understand that that's not really the state of things. But I believe that some of the actions that will happen in the next couple of days, based on who will be handing over the flag in Ondo, will tell us who the acting chairman is, who will have the handles of the party to use will tell us. So I believe that unfortunately people can be angry, and when they're angry people can react, but I think it was ill-advised to follow that route, because you can't be in charge of a political party and not nurse the baby enough. It's almost like when they are asking the woman with the child that should we cut it into two so that you take half and take half. The one that really holds the child is okay, just give them.
Yeah.
If that is what would mean the child be safe. I'm disappointed in those of them who are now claiming that
let the house fall.
Yeah.
Let the house fall.
Unfortunately,
they said the right says yes. if we can't have it, then
let it down here, something like that. And I understand their frustrations. It has to do with their interpretation of the kinds of rule otherwise that the present minister of FCT is playing.
All right,
carryover of the issues in Rivers and other. But I'd like to say that there are 36 states in Nigeria. Rivers is one.
Yeah.
There can be a lot of issues there with a lot of noise there and a lot of conversations there, but we don't have to make that the conversation of the whole country.
All right.
And we don't have to make that the conversation of the whole party, because there's no problem in Ibadan, Oyo. There's no problem in Osun majorly. There's no problem in Ogun.
Maybe chief, it's because some states are quite strategic in terms of resources, in terms of population, in terms of...
In the first instance, the resources of the state. In the first instance, in the real and absolute sense of the word, is the resources of the state supposed to find itself into party like that? Have you forgotten that in the era when Muhammadu Buhari became head of state, General Buhari in 1983, I think, when he took over power from the Shagari, have you forgotten that most of the governors went to prison only on the basis of how they were using state money to fund parties? So it is just because this republic has lasted and we have not evolved the business of consequence, and we have not really looked at tracking the money well. That's why a generous man can suddenly appear like the leader of a party. You can be generous, but that does not make you the leader of the party.
Well, maybe we've been on this route all along, because maybe that's one of the reasons why MKO Abiola was also a leader of MPN at the time.
No, MKO was not the leader of the MPN. When he wanted to contest an election, MPN was put in his place. The leaders of a party are different from the financiers of a party. You can finance a party which will give you some privileges, but that does not convert the leadership of the party to you. And true to the quality of men that ran the Second Republic of the Awolowos, Shagari, Akinloye, and co, they did not tolerate that kind of thing from a money bag. When MK Abiola wanted to, even his wife, President Memori Simbi, wanted to contest an election, she couldn't even win primaries in Abeokuta, where we come from, and that would not be because MK is not generous. And when he tried to be president under MPN, he abandoned it halfway, because those people were not going to yield a political party or the philosophy of political organization to just money. It's unfortunate that this particular republic, we have not, maybe we are evolving, let's put it that way.
Yeah, we're evolving.
Maybe as we are evolving, some of these challenges, some of this crisis is going to force us to now begin to say, okay, this model we are following is not working. Let's micro evolve it.
Now quickly, do you not fear that this crisis could be the end of the party?
I'd be lying if I said I didn't think it could have great impact on the next election. And I'd be lying if I said my mind has not conceived that if it has an impact on the next election, would that not be some kind of look the metis of the party? I see that, but I am hoping against hope that the innate spirit of man to do good will overwhelm his animate spirit to do evil.
Okay.
If the Lord who has created us, or nature that has put us here, has a skill and puts a conscience there, so that when you are doing something bad, you know you are really doing something bad. I'm hoping that those of them who have benefited from this party, who have used the platform to make a lot of money and call themselves all sorts, who have also gotten titles, positions, and all that, I'm hoping that they will do a rethink and just ask themselves only one question. And that question is not 2027 election. For me, the question is, shall the most populous black nation in Africa be incapable of running sustainable democratic civilian organization called the political party called PDP that has been around for 27 years? If they are happy to throw away 27 years of history so that they can start all over again, then that will just tell you why the nation Nigeria itself is not doing well. Most people are politicians. Only a few of us are statesmen. I make bold to say that I'm a statesman. So when I look at things from the point of view of how a statesman should look at it, it's a little bit, it's heavy to lift them. They irritate a lot. Some of the younger ones who are not even, who have not suffered much for the party, they're talking and saying all sorts and getting angry. Some of their leaders are instigating their followers to be their way of the highway. To be not just heady, my way of the highway and all that. And if you remotely try to be balanced, then it must mean that somebody, all those kinds of, it's heavy. But I get consoled all the time by the former Nobel literary Wanzuri Matai. I used to call her mama, and she used to call me her son. She's late now in Kenya, and she used to tell me, my son, as you go along in this journey of emancipation of the black man, especially in your country, Nigeria, every time it gets heavy, remember that that's why you're the one that has been chosen to do it. Find enough strength in you to keep pushing on, and that's how I draw strength.
To make that needed difference. Okay. Now, so if should I? So as you speak, you speak sort of very dispassionately.
I try to be that way.
So also, would that mean that you're not on any side? Or what side of this fight are you on?
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm sure there are millions of party members who want to know. Okay,
that's the burden.
Yeah.
Between 2019 and 2023.
Yeah.
In fact, before the 2019 election, I spoke very heavily for Atiku Abubakar. And in the build-up to 2023, I did even crazy work. And after we lost, I've still continued to push the party and also defend him. But he had choices. He picked other people to do his spokesmanship, so I'm not even under obligation to even do that.
Yeah.
But I do that because I understand his intention. And I also see the frailty of human nature, some of the mistakes that any human being can make. And so for me, I had gotten to a point where I had drawn a line that the arrogance, the error, the mistake, the challenge, the anger, the disappointment of the last election has to end now. Because I didn't see how you could be that way and go into the next battle either as a party or as an individual and hope for a different outcome. So therefore, it then meant that we have to be a little bit more rapprochement and then say, okay, let us hear what the other side is saying. For starts, if we're brothers and you're very angry, and I'm also your brother, and maybe you're angry because you think I've done something, the fact that you're angry already puts a burden on me to listen to you.
And try to understand.
To try and see whether you have a justification for your anger. And even if I think that, okay, maybe you're overblowing it out of proportion, I still must understand that the personal pain of a hurt is yours. So the fact that something has happened to me, it's a big pain, but I have the ability to shrug it off. I must not consider that weakness as a basis for you not to be my brother. So even if you are overreacting, I must accept the fact that I must accept the fact that something sets you in that direction.
In that way.
And that thing that sets you in that direction is whether it's something I can cure, I should cure it. If it's not something I can cure, I must be willing to apologize for it. Even when I apologize, my apology may not
even be accepted.
May not make it better.
It may not entirely heal.
No, it may not make it better. It may be irreversible.
Yes.
But at least you know that it's an admittance of your hurt. And when I admit your hurt, then we can then start to build trust.
Is it better to say an admittance of wrong? An admittance of...
I prefer to say an admittance of your hurt. The reason why I use the word guidedly,
and that's why I also...
I know, admittance of your hurt is that in politics, everything is fair. You are struggling for power, except murder, which you will ordinarily punish and be disgraced, or anything physically. Every other thing you do, legal, gymnastic, deceit, and
mischief,
they have agreed that it is part of the politics. I don't agree. And I agree that, yes, it is the quality of a human being that you are that you bring into the political space.
That's correct.
If you are
because when you were doing your explanation a while ago, I was just going to say to you that most people are not wired the way you are speaking.
It takes a lot of training to be this way.
It takes a large heart to be
able to approach. A whole lot of training to be this way. So, and then what are we chasing is the issue. Some people at the beginning of this republic, they are chasing the title. Some want to be president, some want to be governor, some want to be this, some want to be that. That's what they're chasing. That's not what I'm chasing.
So what are you chasing?
I'm chasing the emancipation of the biggest black nation in the world so that it can stand under heaven and say we have arrived.
Okay, maybe we'll get there. First of all, let me ask you, what would you say is the root cause of all this that we have right now? What is the root cause? Because see, we can continue to dance around the symptoms. We can continue to dance around the things that happen after some after effects and all that.
Can I answer that question straight up?
Straight up, yes.
PDP is bedeviled by the history of his founding. The People's Democratic Party of Nigeria is bedeviled by the history of his founding. Now let me break it down.
Exactly, yeah.
In the build-up to 1998, the military who was trying to leave power had made up their mind that they were going to support Obasanjo and PDP to power.
Well, we don't have that on paper.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
To a great extent, everything that could help them in that direction was done. And Obasanjo, who was in prison, suddenly was able to win ticket. All of that made it easy for them to get power. It wasn't the same with the democratic forces of AD.
Yeah.
They had been fighting a battle against the military dictatorship until they got into the little space they got in power.
Yeah.
In the first, when the first 4 years, Obasanjo was in charge, so that was an undue advantage for the PDP from the villa. When Obasanjo wanted to leave in the second, so when it was done, after the rule of that neither here nor there third term, it was Obasanjo that also railroaded the country into a do or die of Yaradua.
Yeah.
And when Yaradua died, Jonathan just stepped in by constitutional requirement.
Yeah.
And when Jonathan ran the 2011 election, he ran them from the villa.
Sure.
By 2015, you can see all of the issues of they have court cases with Dasuki and all of these guys that had to go to prison because of state money that was used to fund them. The point I'm making is that PDP has been indulged. They have been
refused, therefore, to discipline itself.
They have been so indulged that at every point in time, they don't understand the business of fighting for power. So, you can, after they lost 2015, by 2019, there was an Atiku Abubakar to bring a lot of money to help them. By 2023, they've never really
taken on
they've never really gone through the crucible of what their rivals like Buhari and Co, who they have a lot of money,
but
had to figure out a way to continue to go on and all that. So they created an army of people who did not depend on them for money. You can't compare them to Bola Tinubu, who had only one state called Lagos.
At that time, yeah.
And 2003, when everybody else had done. Do you know the amount of bending backward, over hugging people, managing their problems, tolerating them, carrying them along, that it would have taken for them to have an ACN that will carry so many states? Do you even have an idea of the kind of difficult negotiation that will go into creating that their platform that then became Buhari and APC? Did you not see the kind of issues they dealt with in the primaries, where almost everybody was buying presidential of 100 million, and you know the kind of horse trading that would have gone at PDP is not used to that. They're used to one Father Christmas or one daddy who produces all of the energy, produces the money, and then everybody. And even when you look at it, the one that is now immediate, the Wiki article issue, the underpinnings of that is also the fact that, yes, some people will argue that where were the article when the Wiki were really standing firm to hold the party.
But that's a whole issue, yeah.
Some people will say that.
Yes.
But some people will also say that where were the Wiki when people like the article were running up and down to even bring the party into fusion. After all, in 1999, article was the vice president and Wiki was what? Just basically trying to be local government chairman. So, but I always say, it is the normal nature of life for the son to eventually grow enough to be able to look the father and say, Daddy, we're not going this way.
Exactly, yeah.
What differentiates a good child within the African context is that you don't take advantage of the weakness of old age
to now
begin to misbehave, because whatever you are doing now, you are also teaching your younger ones that that's how they're going to do it. Little wonder you see the whole mess going on in Rivers.
Yeah, but then don't you also think that from the analogy you have just used, it also puts responsibility on the father not to step beyond his own
in politics,
boundaries, so that it doesn't get
there's a much difference between there's a small difference between just a family and a political party. The problem is that in your family, the number of people that you need to talk to and all that are just limited.
Yeah.
But in the political party, do you even know the amount of pressure so-called supporters put leaders on? Do you know how hard it is for a leader? A leader might wake up in the morning and say, okay, let's do this, let's go and
let's just forget all this.
No, not forget. Let's just be reconciliatory.
Yes,
And then the followers,
nothing like
far
that.
Irresponsible. And before you know it, they railroad their leader
into error.
Into what will then become an error. And when the error then happens, it's the leader that will carry it. So I always say that a leader must be accommodating enough of his supporters, but he must be firm enough to understand the responsibility of providing leadership is his. And therefore, you can't be an absentee general. Sometimes you have to get up and go dirty your hands.
Now, so let's go ahead a little further on the Rivers problem.
Okay.
Yes, let's talk about Rivers. Here is Fubara to my left.
Yeah.
And here is Wike
You're right.
to my right. And here is Sowunmi in the middle.
Okay.
And he's the father of the party. What are you saying to the two of them?
Well, I'm saying that, gentlemen, I know how you started feeling angry with yourselves. It's not up to 2 years, because we have not done 2 years of that election. But I know the number of years you've been happy with yourself. It is at least 8 years.
At least, yeah.
Because you had 8 years.
That, yeah.
For 8 years, you were each other's brothers.
Chummy, yeah.
You were senior brother, junior brother. Oga and boy. Governor, accountant general. You did that for 8 years, and it was a good relationship. It was so good a relationship, the Oga said it had to be you, even when everybody was fighting you. Shall you then say, because of this less than 2 years differences and error and all that, you have burnt all of the 8 years? And then I will remind you people that both of you remember, God sparing both your lives. You are still going to finish either the 4 years or the 8 years, and you're still going to be back to ordinary men.
Citizens, yeah.
Then are you going to now say that it is after you die before you will understand that you can ask yourself, really, what are we even quarreling about? That's the first thing I say as their father. The second thing I'll say to them is that, have you looked at your younger ones, which is the citizens of Rivers now? Have you looked at the amount of distress you are causing your younger one or even your mother, only because you are not taking it easy with yourself? Then I will ask them, at the heart of this thing,
what exactly?
What are you trying to prove? You, the senior, is it possible for us to redo and say that you are no longer the senior? You are senior from the day you were born. And you, the junior, are we going to now start pretending as if you are not also a matured man in your own right? So be that as it may, find a middle ground, because you are both going to be the losers in the long run. The one that thinks he's winning today has to understand that as the clock goes round, so also the earth and the sun oscillate. That you have people in authority today who may be sympathetic to you. Please be aware, all the crimes committed as a governor in a state or as a president, they are not status bad.
You can't be.
Therefore, a Pharaoh comment that knoweth not Joseph.
Right.
Take it easy with yourself.
No. Now
that's what I would say.
Now,
as their father,
you've spoken to them on matters that connect both of them. Is there anything you will be saying individually? Okay, you, younger brother, this, that.
The best thing for a father, or for any,
not to get into.
No. The best thing for any senior-minded, trained mediator is to set the basis for them to have a conversation, so that and then believe that if it holds water, if something moves within them, never mind, they won't kill themselves. You are going to find out that it starts first. Okay, we don't finish her. Then they will start building the trust back again. Then they will be chummy again. Then they will invest in the trust again. Then all will be well. It is undue. It's the error of a nation like ours, where consequences are not easily applied, that allows for that kind of indiscipline. Had we been a nation of sure consequences, it would not have been very easy for that kind of situation to happen, because each of them would have seen clearly the punishment that awaits them because of some of the errors
they have committed,
that as a result of this thing they have committed. Shall a state run on 5 House of Assembly members?
Let's take a break and then we'll come back.
Okay.
Welcome back. We're still on the Polity, coming to you live from Abuja station of KAFTAN Television, and I'm sure that you're having a great time out there watching us, watching myself, and the ever so articulate, ever so if you like, dependable. You can be sure that is one person that will make your show lively. You can be sure that it is one person who is willing to take on the issues, even though he can be a dribbler also. Because even one of my questions has been successfully parried, and I don't mind, because let me.
Which of them?
Okay. When I ask you about the issues, you weren't forthcoming. You went on to talk about something.
No, the reason why I didn't want to talk about the issues are that, one, they will have to tell us really what were the issues that can produce this kinds of suspension gale.
No. But you, I mean, prior to that, you had said that one or two of them had spoken with you and tried to make.
I know. No, what I was talking about.
It's your. I understand
what I was talking about.
You could refuse to.
No, I'm not refusing to. But I'm trying to tell you, when I spoke to them, I was asking about process.
Okay.
I didn't want to get into the niceties of their actions. I don't want to know how did you
arrive
achieve
at this
that
position. Okay.
Okay, we were in ESCO. We served, we called them and said this was the issue. We sent 2 people out to go and discuss among themselves. We brought them back. We voted on it. This was the voting numbers, and we told him we're setting up a committee, blah, blah, blah.
All right.
So that already tells me whether I agree or don't agree. It was an action within the constitutional provisions of our party.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's it. And I didn't want to start speculating on, oh, they said he sat down, he didn't. If the guy attends.
No. Let's go. You'd recall the last time you came here.
Yeah.
I even raised an issue that, and this is not being judgmental.
Okay.
This is not being judgmental.
Okay.
I raised an issue that it looked as if Debo Ologunagba was not up to it in terms of handling the media. And you even went a whole lot to try to defend him, saying that he writes very long epistles to.
Okay, you remember me defending him?
Yes, the
well, Debo's strength can never be.
But that there's still, you agreed with me that there's still a need for somebody who is a talker, because
there's a need for
how many Nigerians really read those things that are written?
First of all, Debo's strength is not this.
Exactly, it's not. But we must have this.
As a matter of fact, it is part of the idiocy of structuring an NWC in the first instance for someone who is not this, who doesn't have passion for this, who is not interested in this, who this has not been his life, to be saddled with that responsibility. I can name 4 people from his area that could have done better, if only they had been given. But you know, like I said earlier,
I like your spirit, because that day, even though you know all this, you did say he's the one there.
I'm really backing him on it.
Yes.
Now, the reason why I say this is that it is at the heart of our problem in the country as a nation.
That we keep
our recruiting metric is too weak. We tend to think that someone that will not be able to say to go and help us be in charge of our own private company should be in charge of government business or public business. Exactly. You have to make sure that even the person you are saying to be the assistant of the person you are even putting must be a vice president, must always be a potential president.
Exactly, that's true.
And so when you use patronage as the only criteria
of
for filling in people, you have this problem now.
That's correct.
You have to redesign it completely. If I become the national chairman, I will redesign it completely.
Yeah, we're going to come to that.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's becoming laborious even for me. I tell you what, the reason is that, okay, before people started saying, oh, I'm the national chairman, I used to defend the PDP without the irritation of people thinking that there is an interest.
Exactly.
But
so now there's an extra burden right now. Whatever position you take,
this burden is so annoying. It's like I just take it and just smash it on the ground. It's that annoying, because I know me. I ran an election in 2019, and I told them before going to the polls that, look, guys, don't come and tell me we were rigged. If we get down whatever they announce, I'm going to congratulate the president immediately. I'm the first in Nigeria to congratulate my rival. I always tell people, I believe in the philosophy of my desire to say I want to serve, but not by force. And I lose nothing if you don't let me serve you.
And that's why, for example, I think in your aspiration currently, you have refused to bring in too many. I think we went that route.
So now, when we ran for government, when I pushed for the governorship aspiration in 2023, we had 2023. I ran for governor in Omoogun. Yeah. Adibutu eventually became the one on the ticket. I took him all the way to Supreme Court. What's his name? Jibril Lawal also did same. When the verdict was, okay, this is the candidate of the party, I said, okay, let's go and walk. Up to today, Jibril Lawal is still running up and down trying to destabilize the party. Even when he jumped ship and he couldn't even deliver for where he went. I stayed, worked very, very hard, and won the largest margin in my federal constituency. That's me. It does not mean that maybe I wouldn't have wanted to be governor or whatever. But I just thought that, okay, bottom line is we want to serve, right?
Yes. We
have offered ourselves to the people that want to serve. Obviously, my ideas are better than theirs. But if this is what the people want now, why do we have to destroy everything? I have not made up my mind. What I'm going to do now, you'll be shocked that the way I'm looking at the kinds of things that they're even saying about the solution to the country, I'm going to just throw my hat into the presidential ring. That's the kind of person that I am. If I become convinced that this is the right thing, I will contest for president. I'm older than Shura. Shura Majima, University of Lagos. If Shura is running president about 2-3 circles, why can't I run?
Yeah, maybe you don't have the finances and the
what finances does what kind of
structure.
What kind of finances do you think it takes to run the presidency of a nation? I know where the money is in the world, and I know the capitals of the world that have the money, and I know what the relationship with me and them are. I've just thought that, okay, let these old men settle the housekeeping issues so that men like us can step forward and take the country to the next level. But they seem to be wobbling. They're not exerting themselves even to look for solutions to problems. Simple things confound them. How can anybody be a Nigerian who is thinking about leadership in this country and not know that it is the duty of government to ensure that the citizens are protected from the excess of monopoly and the private and the profiteering that they are in? So these are all top process issues.
Because of time.
Yes.
Now, as we speak, there are reports that 7 governors of PDP have endorsed
disregard that. Where did you see the report? Where did you see them say that? There's something about the PDP governors. One, they have the platform of the Governors Forum by Bala. They've not said that. 2, they have each of them have their verified ex-handle. They've not said that. Each of them have their verified spokesperson and ministry and all that. They've not said that. Those who are creating the cacophony of irritation are the ones that are just loading the media with nothing.
Falsehood, okay.
When the governors speak, they will speak clearly and we will hear. When the acting national chairman went to go and visit Governor Bala Mohammed, you must have seen that, of Bauchi State. They showed us rushes from the office. We heard the acting national chairman, Damago, speak. We heard the chairman of the Governor's Forum speak. We saw them move. This is why I am not happy that that action that is being done is allowed to be done. But I understand some people.
But it's not allowed.
I understand. Yeah, I know. I understand that some people believe that their best game is destroy the PDP and then go and start another joking plan. They're going to take another platform and then start running up and down the street saying that they're going to do one kind of imaginary merger so that imaginary merger can go and give them imaginary presidency. I'll be here. When I would have said,
guess what?
I want you all.
I think that we should allow callers. Yes.
Okay.
I think we should allow callers.
Okay. If they will call.
Yeah. The number is 080-299-38365. While we're waiting for the callers to come in, what are the 3 quick steps if you were called to?
As you know, I was the national chairman now.
As you are the chairman.
You know,
what are the 3 quick steps to set back?
I have spent hours thinking about this solution. But I challenged them. The mouthy ones. Oh yeah, show me your pathway first. Since you people are so mouthy and you are so smart, produce the pathway. And up to now they can't. And I promised them that I know a few propose probable pathways, but I won't dash you yet, because the ones we dashed you before, you did not have the decency to say thank you
for them
or to appreciate it. Thinking is not.
It's not cheap. It's not cheap. Yeah. And thinking. Do
you know how many the effort that goes into consultation, into planning, into reading, into research, just because of what is going on with the oil industry? Can I share a story with you?
Yeah.
I had to order 7 big books only on the journey of oil. How did they do it? What happened? How did they create it? The role of the entire one is as big as this.
And you're going to devour.
I am continuing. The first one alone is already an eye opener, and I still have 6. Some of them are electronic, some of them are hard copies. Over and above that, I also ordered another, because I didn't just order the book. I called expert consultants in the academics abroad to ask them that, guys, are you going to be watching us? Like, is there no solution to this problem?
And then
after we had engaged, okay, young man, we can see your heart. Don't worry. We'll start sending you material.
All right. So what you have said is that whilst you have certain ideas, you're not willing to share them.
I know what to do.
Right.
I know how they should do it.
But you're not willing to share it right now.
I want their leaders to do their best.
First.
The best they know how to, let them do, let's even see it.
Now, let me ask you, and I don't know how you feel with this question.
Ask me, no
do
problem.
you think that this crisis helps your aspiration?
My aspiration?
Yes.
What is my aspiration?
To become chairman.
My brother, that for me is not an aspiration. The whole concept of let's be chairman is that, the more young people were talking about it, the more I started talking about the need for a massive reform of the party. Do you get? And as I thought about this reformation, I started asking myself, where are we even going to send to go and do it? Who will even painstakingly do it? I can couple together an executive committee for them, led by me and young people, and they will do like it. Based on the strength of people, okay, you will be secretary, they'll be ready, balanced, equitable, fair, fiery, able to go and take on their rivals, not these jargons. They have a 25-year-old institution, 2025. That's quarter of a century. They are 27. They are going on 27. Do you know what it means for that institution to be flat-footed and not
floundering?
And for after a quarter of a century? Do you know that there are times I say to myself that, Segun, you should have actually taken a party of your own at some point, so that all this energy, at least you will point it into immortality, not into a commonwealth with people who don't even know how to stand for anything for the long run. I know them,
but I don't think it's all losses for you, because that's also why everybody seems to be coming to you.
They would have also been coming to me if I was running.
Yeah, sure.
And they would have been coming to me if I was in APC.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So whatever it is, where you are has not.
No, it has not diminished me. I know. Look, my brother, the point I'm making is that.
Yeah.
Do you know my greatest agony with the Nigerian people, men like you, and so many of you out there, is that I wonder who you people are thinking will help you to build this democracy. I wonder why I will be in their midst, and there will be thousands of you there with me, so that when we're talking, we're speaking from the same thing. Why would I be there screaming and shouting and pushing us in the right direction when the vast majority of human beings who can feel it, who are also hungry, who desire it, are pretending as if they would rather be doing journalism, as if they can't do journalism and be in the party.
Okay.
They be pretending that they would rather be doing banking, as if you can't do banking and party. And I'm asking them, can you guys not see that criminals are the ones that are designing our future? Why should our collective human capital deliver so little?
Well, maybe that will be something that we can discuss when.
I trust you now. You don't want to dirty your skin. You don't want to dirty your hand. Politics is dirty.
When we have
politics is dirty. That is dirty.
We can do this over some drinks.
No, I was putting you on the spot.
So maybe you will like. So the truth is this.
Yes.
Why would people not be interested for journalism? The point that you have to remain neutral might run contrary to. Do
you know who Karl Marx was? Karl Marx was a journalist.
Yes, but then you saw.
Do you know who Eisenhower was?
No, you saw how. I mean, he didn't go into you can't say that he went into politics the kind that you're talking about now.
No, the kind that you are talking about is that way because quality men are leaving it to a bunch of news. Imagine you get to what you call a ward. The smallest denomination is a ward. Country, state, zone, state, local government, central district, local government, and ward. And that's why
Nigerians, please do call in. He's hot. He's hot. He wants to deliver something. You can put him on the spot.
No problem.
This is PDP, and you are wondering why PDP is not giving opposition.
No problem. No problem. Yeah. Now, do you know that the word is actually supposed to be a kindred? Technically speaking, that means you and your relatives.
Yes.
Now, if you within that area you're bonded, who exactly are you leaving the responsibility of the leadership of that place to? A tout, a never do well, a barely educated person, someone who can easily be bribed. Why would you want the people that will be deciding in that environment to be people that can be bribed with as little as 10,000? And then when they then come and then you sit down here, they amalgamate that together. They tell them, pick a presidential candidate. They'll be picking people that they themselves know that this person that they're about to pick, the only reason they're picking him is money. Not any fine idea, not any fire. You look at leaders around the continent getting younger. You look at world leaders taking on the stage and delivering at a level that is very high and gargantuan. And then you will ask yourself, what the hell did we just do? Now, can a man give more than what he has?
No. Now, see, but I don't think, you asked the question, what did we just do? I don't think that we have even started asking the question. I think that we revel, we enjoy where we are.
We couldn't have. They are lamenting a lot.
No, the lamentations will not manifest when it is time for elections. That's why recently somebody.
That's because of people like you.
No. That's why someone has been saying. I heard Dayo say. In fact, on this seat here, Dayo said, "Look, there's no suffering. There's no suffering in the land."
I understand the sarcasm.
Of course, it's sarcasm.
No.
But that's the truth.
No.
No, see, he said, if they get hungry, really hungry, they will need to be mobilized to get on a protest.
No, wait. The problem is that there is a slight difference between where I stand on this issue and where they stand.
Yeah, please, let's take this first. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yep, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Mr. Joe from Edo State.
From Edo State, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Please, Sowunmi is in the house, as you can see. You have a question for him or you have a contribution to make. Let's have it quickly.
Yes, I have a question for him.
All right.
Yes, we are never, personally, I'm a lover of PDP.
All right.
I've been PDP since 99.
Okay.
It's only PDP that can deliver this country from mess.
That's free campaign. You are doing campaign.
Let him speak.
Yes.
Because it's your money.
So the only problem I'm seeing in PDP is that Wike is an obstacle to PDP. Until Wike leaves PDP will not have peace. So they should look for a way to remove Wike from PDP.
All right. Thank you very much. Please stay tuned. He will be responding. But before you say that, before you come in, I'd like to ask. No, you can go offline and watch. Thank you. Now, so that assertion for me is a bit too hasty, if you ask me. If that's what comes to my mind, but I think I should have a better word, because you see, I have had a PDP chieftain come here, and he did say, and the last time you came, you also were not too far from that point. He did say, you're going to do justice to it. He did say that this issue is not Wike. It started from Atiku. It started from the point that the parties have a gentleman agreement that the presidency has to rotate between the north and the south, which was flouted, which was frustrated by Atiku's contest in 2023. Okay. So you can take it over from there.
You know, the comment you've made is very popular. People say it a lot. And the comment our friend from Edo said to is very popular. People say it a lot.
Yeah.
Please allow me to honestly digest it and dissect it. On the Wike issue, what will constitute punishment for Wike? Assuming that's what the people want. You probably want him expelled or suspended. You need to ask yourself, what will that really do
for the party? What
will it really do in the real sense of the word? If you say Wike is interfering, say in Kano, is he a Kano man? Why is he able to interfere? If you say he's interfering, say in Ogun, is he an Ogun man? Why is he able to interfere? Now, if you removed him, assuming you pronounce that, oh yeah, we have expelled you, how does him being in his house or being minister of FCT, which you claim you have expelled, apart from you feeling good and just say, we have gotten him, how does that prevent him from doing the kinds of damage
and that do it even worse now?
Okay. How does that prevent him from doing that? The answer is that you can't prevent him that way. And on Atiku, how do you explain to yourself that what the Constitution has guaranteed for all citizens, right of contest, right to present themselves for election, right to be defeated, right to be voted for, how do you now say that your inability to work hard to defeat him at democracy is going to now be an obstacle over his life? I expect that anybody who wants to do an election must plan to defeat his rival. After all, the man sitting in the villa now.
Do you think, let me stop you there, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But do you think also that anybody who wants to do an election will comply with both the express provisions of the party's constitution and the unwritten ones?
Okay.
Do you also think so?
I think it should comply with the written and unwritten, but the question is this: the written and express position for 2023 was that the autumn-led committee to review the zoning left it open, which
created the lacuna.
It was not only Atiku that contested.
That's true.
What's his name?
Tambuwal did, yeah.
A lot of others did. He only won. And that election, that primary was not an easy primary to win, contrary to what people are thinking. Wike was so close to winning it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if Governor Wike had won that primary, should Atiku and his people have behaved the way he behaved?
I do not. If I take it for I hope that it doesn't sound like I'm holding brief.
No, don't worry. Let me land my thought.
Good.
Assuming, let's without conceding that Wike had won that primaries.
Yes.
Should leaders that are with Atiku, the northern leader, should they have also become so angry and then be in bed with Bola Tinubu to make him lose? Okay. Should the southeast, who will also have a legitimate argument that, come on PDP, what are you guys doing? South, Jonathan has been president. Southwest, Obasanjo has been president. What are you doing with us? Would you have been able to assuage them based on that? What am I trying to say in essence without holding
all of this, yes.
What I'm trying to say to you is that a political party is not a place where you just take a magic wand and say, abracadabra.
Yeah.
Great work must be done. People must play the game according to the rules.
Yes.
Those in charge of the party must understand their own duties and responsibility. How would Atiku have contested if Thomas said is zoned to the south? End of story. They didn't have the discipline to do that.
What did Otoma actually?
They threw it open. They left it open. So how can people blame Atiku for participating in a process that was legitimately allowed? That's one. The second is, shall a political party be following a zoning model that is against his own best interest? We have never.
No.
Okay.
Let's just take this.
Pick your friend. Yes.
Hello.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Emmanuel on the line. I'm calling from Abuja.
What did you say the name is?
Emmanuel, I'm calling from Abuja.
Oh,
Emmanuel from Abuja.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. I want to thank my brother again in the studio.
Right.
I think it's the right time for PDP to wake up and see what is happening in Nigeria. But I think this is an opportunity for PDP to take over the power with what is happening now. If they can put ourselves together, both men that were there since 1998, they should just relax and choose somebody like the man in the studio, take over this party, then use your own wisdom and stabilize the party against 2027. I want to assure you that if they do that, APC will not stand the way. I'm assuring you that this is the right time for PDP to put themselves together and take over the power from APC.
Do you have any idea how this can be achieved? Any idea?
There's so many ideas.
Like how can they
with their own personal interest? One,
okay, yeah.
There's somebody like Wike withdraw himself. Somebody like Atiku withdraw himself. Somebody like all those national acting national chairman say, okay, party for peace to reign. I withdraw.
All right. Thank you very much, Imam.
I think.
Thank you very much.
That all those men just talk, be an advisory to the people that are coming up. What is will not be happening? Because of their personal interest, that's why you are seeing all these things happening. My structure. That's what is causing the problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Imam. You heard him.
I heard him. He's right. But I believe that why I was saying more people should join the party, is that if you have a critical mass of quality men who are members of the party, not just people, any party they like, you will have a critical mass of quality men who will be taking decisions. But if you have only one or a few of them, you won't be able to get anything serious done, because the democracy is a very punishing system of selection.
Yeah, it is.
The minority will have their say,
but then the majority will have
their way.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. You're welcome to the Polity. Yeah? Your name is?
My name is Abbas, calling from Kogi State.
Yeah, please, let's have your contribution.
Yes, I hear that people saying that PDP just like a word as in stand on its own, and the people inside there have a problem. So you cannot classify somebody for instance now, you see Suja Barak, the Barak of Suja is a Barak. And the people inside Barak, the problem of Nigeria. So even if people move from APC now down to PDP now, I think the same. So but what we are praying is to pray for the good people that will rule us, that will make Nigeria better.
All right. Thank you so much, Abbas. Now
Abbas is right. There's nothing to add.
All right.
The people, the monk.
Yes.
The garment
does not make the
garment, the hood
does not make the monk.
Does not make the monk.
Yeah, that's correct.
What you don't have on the inside, you can't give.
You can't give.
And the meetings even made worse because leaders won't even engage.
Now let me ask you from
how much time do we have more?
Maybe about 13.
Okay.
About 13. Now let me ask you, having gathered some opinions from a number of Nigerians, which is in tandem with what you have said, is it not a failure? Yes, we all know the problem of a church is the people, not the building, not the name.
Yeah.
Now, so is it not a failure of the system, a failure of the organization not enforcing its own rules that is leading to this? After this. Hello. Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon, yeah? No, please, let's have you. Yeah. So I'm saying,
I gave you a drill down from how they came to form these habits.
Right, yes.
And I put it side by side their rivals who have to fight for everything. So the indulgence has made them maybe mentally lazy. No, the indulgence have made them entitled. And an entitled person does not fight for anything. He doesn't contribute for anything. He doesn't stand up for anything.
He's just waiting for the
some other people must go and do all the hard work for him.
And then he picks his own portion. Right. Yeah, so that's the issue. The
APC is not a perfect party, I must say, and you can tell.
But so thus far, they've been able to enforce some level of discipline.
No. They have not enforced any discipline. They have only succeeded in cowing their members to the level where their members can talk.
Well,
in fact, they don't even have the heart for reconciliation. Shola is out there since how many months? Have they even been able to think that what can we do to bring him back?
Yeah, must they bring him back?
APC is the kind of party that doesn't want
must they bring him back?
No, I'm just giving you an example of how they don't even bother with reconciliation.
Hello? Maybe this might just be the... Hello?
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. My name is John Eunice. I'm calling for a State.
All right.
Since when APC take over this country, you are hypocrite. When PDP is ruling, we are enjoying it. But now, look at our things, to buy things at the market, right? Gary, we cannot make anything. But the only prayer we have now is to pray that PDP take over the support party.
Well, I'm afraid. All right. Thank you very much, Don Eunice. You could go offline and watch the rest of the show. Thank you for calling. Now, but I hope that we don't get this wrong. We're not comparing the strengths of parties right now, because I know that gives you some. You're excited.
No, I wasn't going to say that. No, I wasn't
excited about that.
No.
You're excited about this.
No. What I wanted to say, you want to take the last call? What I wanted to ask.
I think we should take 2 more if we get. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
How are you? My name is Shaibu Abubakar Umar.
All right.
I'm calling from Bauchi.
You're welcome.
And I thank both of you for bringing in this topic. It's really exciting and educative.
Thank you.
You know, all the political parties in Nigeria, they need to be overhauled. This is the main thing. Because they don't work according to their manifestos. They are not working based on their manifestos. Are you getting me?
Yes, go on, please. Yeah.
Okay, they are not working based on their manifestos. And, you know, again, most of them, they are just like some people who are like dropouts in a secondary school. If they try all means of living that they could not survive, they just go back to politics. And they fall either PDP, APC, whatever. They are just like a group of people who are hopeless. Honestly speaking, I'm sorry for using that word. Because if you look in other climes, if you look how political parties are, they are principled and they are out to help their people or their citizenry, and they want to make impact. Not like this our own what is happening now. A political party will come with a manifesto, but they are not doing it at all. They are doing something else. And again, another issue is issue of this godfatherism. You cannot come into any political party without a godfather. It's not easy for you. I give you a story what happened recently in Kano. I have a friend who was appointed as sorry, even though we're talking about PDP, I just want to portray my point.
You need to do it as quickly as possible.
In Kano.
Yeah.
He was given an appointment as a local government acting chairman. When the people trying to accept him because he is enlightened, he is doing a lot of both the other people in the past. Now he resigned his post. He was a civil servant. So now he wanted to contest. They say he is new to the party. They want somebody who is older or has been in the party for a long time. This is in Kano, I'm telling you what is happening. Can you imagine this kind of attitude? You want somebody who can give impact, who can deliver. Not issue of we came back to the party today or tomorrow, whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you.
There is a lot of alignment and realignment.
Thank you, Omar. Thank you. Bauchi is doing good.
There's no part of the world, Omar, where people will come into a political party and just be allowed that way.
Exactly.
Every part of the world, you will have to come into the political party and climb up the ladder.
That's correct.
May God help us to become a nation of consequence. All of the issues we complain about godfatherism is just because we all like our money. In Nigeria, we are a people that like our money.
That's all.
I like my money, you like money. We all react well to the money.
Prioritize it over everything else.
Maybe.
Yes.
So that's where the problem is. If somebody comes to I look at Edo. I've not recovered from the very little numbers of Olumide Akpata got. He campaigned very heavily. He did a lot of jingles. He represented the Labour Party, which is a dramatic difference from all that. And he could only get 22,000 votes.
Yeah.
PDP got 247,000 plus votes. APC managed to say they got 250 something thousand votes. Bottom line is that the people did not even show up for this so-called third
fresh
force.
air. Yeah. That's it.
We are going to continue to be a nation.
I think that you had answered this in your previous take when you said, why are people of better enlightenment not in parties? The person is complaining about, the person is angry that was not allowed a chance. Why didn't he join the party all this while? Why didn't he join the fray all this while?
I give them a smaller assignment, which is not as hard as that. Even if you cannot join the party, can you not sensitize your relatives? Just educate them on what you look out for in a good candidate. That's easy.
That's easy, but it's not as easy as you.
How many people do you have in your family that you want to educate that's so hard?
It's not because you see, we also talked about it just now. The mind of the average Nigerian is monetized, quote and unquote. The mind of the average Nigerian is money centered, so much so that whatever grammar, whatever ideas you bring, whatever illustrations, whatever enlightenment that you provide, if they do not see it bringing some money their way.
How much money did General Buhari have before he became president?
Very good. He rode on years of being viewed in a particular way.
Thank you.
Now, he did deliver based on that?
No. Hey, our major undoing in this country is that we have been unlucky for some time now that our presidents get into the villa and fall ill. Some of them may have done a lot better than imagine if Yaradua didn't die. He would have been phenomenal. Imagine if Buhari did not fall ill.
You know what I think?
And imagine if
you know what I think?
What?
When you talk about Yaradua, if he didn't die and all that, I mean, if we limit it to Yaradua, for example, I'll take you back to also Murtala Mohammed. You know, we have it's a human thing. That
we worship them in the past?
Because they didn't live long enough to commit their own errors. That's just it. They didn't live long enough.
No, I don't know what I was going to say.
They didn't live long enough
what I was going to say
also commit their own blunders and be judged on that basis.
What I was going to say about Yaradua, leaders will always be judged. That's not the problem. The problem is the policy direction and intention of the directive principle of their government.
I agree with you.
If General Muhammadu Buhari, I hold up to tomorrow that if he had not been a little bit ill, gravely ill as he was, the energy to supervise would have been higher. And if he had just supervised some of these policies, he would have had it really nice.
And when you say that, are you insinuating, are you suggesting by any means that the villa has some things does?
No. I'm not saying that the age at which they come into authority is too. I mean, if you are, they cut their age and all that. If you are 80 and you are coming to carry the load that 40, 50-year-old boys are carrying in other countries, what are you expecting?
Now, finally, chairmanship aspirant Sowunmi.
Yeah.
Speak in the next 1 minute of what you think you could do to change the fortunes, or what you intend to bring to the table.
First of all,
yes,
the entire
as chairman,
the entire operational manual, the constitution has to be reviewed. I do not accept that you can continue to run a party for this number of years and you will leave only one space for one woman. There is nothing a secretary does that a woman can do. There is nothing a treasurer does that a woman can do. There is nothing that
even a publicity secretary.
I'm just saying that the leader of one of my fans in politics in the world. Her name is Glaciers. She's the president of the Brazilian Workers' Party. If you see this woman in campaign, the way she's vibrating, you will jump. And she's a woman. She's taking them to election twice. They won. She's taking them to election. They lost. And she's taking them to another election again. They won. And she's a woman. Total right, not more than this. When you see our women in the banks, you see them as CEO, you see them in their own private spaces, you marvel at the level of industry. And then at the most critical area, what are you telling me about Nigeria that somebody like Ngozi can be vice president or president? What is the person doing there that Ngozi can do? I'm trying to tell you that.
I think you diminish her even by suggesting.
No, I just said, no, listen. The reason why I said, why can't she be vice president or president is that I know you people. If she says she wants to be president now, people will now start having problem with an idea of her being president. Have you even agreed that they should be in the Senate? Have you even agreed that they should have enough number? Have you even agreed that they should have enough of them in the reps? Have you agreed that they can even lead parties? What's the big deal about parties?
Yeah, so your first
that's taking it. The other thing is that You need to figure out a reward system for the large number of people who support the party as young people, that you give them nothing, you recognize them not. You can't be running a campaign council list made up of old hags, and you are leaving out the young people. They can't even find space and expression there.
But you can't also totally, because you see, you can't also
My point is that you cannot insist that you are transforming and reforming any organization if your idea is that we will do it the way we've always done it.
No, I agree with you. That's it.
I've given you two. I can't be running the manifesto. I can also tell you.
No.
I can add one last one.
If you add it, you pay us for.
Let me add one last one.
You pay us for advance. No.
You don't want me to add one more.
If you pay in advance.
I'll pay. Let me just tell you one other thing.
Yes.
You can't run a political organization in the 21st century when science is not dictating decision.
Let me add
science and research
I think is very
decision.
crucial.
And I can also say
of
to you,
parties in Nigeria, I think, is the system of funding. Until we find a party that insists that members contribute maybe 1,000 naira per year or whatever,
no, there's nothing
naira per year. Until you have those kind,
there is nothing so hard in that.
So, but I think
there is nothing so hard in that.
Right.
It's just that political parties for some time now only have a view of the next election. Their planning starts and ends with the next election. They don't have a long view of election is just one event in the journey of a party, and that's where the difference is.
And that's why big wigs can come in.
This business of letting people come and take our party as waiver will be greatly resisted.
That's correct.
People must be able to stay in their party, carry the burden of their party, understand not just the manifesto or the ideology of their party, but even the way of life in that party. Because the character of how they do things in your house is not the way they do it in my house.
True.
But when you allow them to jump here, you confuse the entire society. God bless you.
Now, Thank you very much, Chief Segun Sowunmi, for coming. You know, I delight every time.
Thank you.
Even if you don't buy me a drink. Now,
okay. I will.
Now, so it's been another great time on the Polity this afternoon, this Monday afternoon. And I hope that you have had a great time out there, time of enlightenment, of education, of sensitization. And I think and I hope that you will be there tomorrow again. Hopefully I should be here tomorrow again. And we'll do this together. Let's build this nation to that level that we all desire. Let's not leave it to anyone else, even according to my guest this afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your day. We're out.